In the name of Allah, who is the God of the entire mankind, whose mercy is profound, whose kindness is everlasting. One of the questions one confronts normally while understanding and while delivering the message of Islam to others is that there are people who ask as to why is it that there's certain obvious expectations of morality which you Muslims do not present quite as strongly as you emphasize on certain other matters which do not seem to be quite as morally important and significant. Well, the answer to this question is that at times some Muslims incorrectly, erroneously emphasize certain things more than others, because what we find in the text of the Quran and the mention of the statements of the Prophet, may Allah's mercy be on him, is the fact that certain aspects are emphasized more and certain other aspects are not even mentioned. The reason is that the entire message of Islam assumes that the message is being delivered and it is being accepted by the people who are already good human beings. The good nature is already there in the individual, and then it is God's law which comes to guide such good individuals. So that if you are a good human, you already know, for instance, that you're not supposed to tell lies. You already know that you've got to be good to your neighbors, that you've got to be good to your children, that you've got to keep your environment clean, that you've got to be law abiding, and you've got to be a good employee and a good employer. All such things are mentioned every now and then in the statements of the Prophet, but their mention is somewhat indirect, and what really occupies the text more is the emphasis on certain other matters, like the fact that you've got to be good to your old parents, the fact that you've got to say your prayers, the fact that you've got to be very, very particular about paying zakat, and so on and so forth. The reason is that these are the areas which are either the Islamic law or they talk about those aspects of morality which are quite often ignored. Islamic law, Sharia, is something which is over and above the moral law which we all humans have. So in other words, the message of Islam in the form of the Sharia or in the form of the teachings of morality that are described in Al-Hikmah, the wisdom aspect of the Sharia, of the message of Islam, they are both emphasizing on those aspects of human life which are quite often ignored, where a good human also sometimes can err, can commit errors and blunders, so that the message of the Almighty comes to our rescue in areas where we are likely to go wrong. Areas where good humans are likely to perform well are not normally emphasized, because that is something which is already known, about which the expectation is that a good human who has become a Muslim, and that is what the assumption is, that if you are a good human, it's only then that you would actually resort to the message of God to find out what He is expecting you to do. So that if you're already a good human, you do not need to be informed about matters which are already well known to your good nature. May the Almighty enable us to become good humans as well as good Muslims.